The Emperor has been expecting you.
Hi everyone and welcome to One Six Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to episode number 22 of the Focus, a weekly live stream dedicated to collecting 1/6 scale, quarter scale, pop culture, movies, TV, all that good stuff. So we're going to bring in Phil and we're going to bring in Trevor. How you doing, guys?
Good. What's going on? It's just
all
us
good,
three.
yeah.
Not much. Now just survived another Monday, that kind of type of thing, like,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah.
I always find it's a nice way to start off the week. You have Monday out of the way, and you can stream and have a chat with gentlemen like yourselves and people in the chat. So, what did you get up to for the weekend, Phil? I see some very interesting photos there. I'm very jealous, actually.
It could be you one day. I could be meeting you in a stormtrooper outfit.
Maybe you did.
You never know.
Maybe you did.
Maybe, yeah. So I did Cardiff Comic Con Saturday, and it was interlinked with Brick Festival, like a Lego festival.
Oh, cool.
So that was pretty cool. My son was more interested in the Brick Festival than he was in the Comic Con. So
give him time. He'll get there.
I'm trying to be
In fairness,
patient.
I remember. I think I remember getting Lego really, really young as a kid, and it's a great way to introduce, I think, young kids to like basic engineering. Like, I think it's just a really cool educational toy. Like,
Some of the sets that were there were mind blowing.
Pardon?
Some of the sort of the sets they had set up there were mind blowing. You know, like custom builds and whatever.
Those
Cool,
mocks, my own creation things, they're insane, man. I don't know how people do it. I don't really just like, I don't know. It's a whole mindset, like an engineering mindset that you have to be able to build that stuff. It's incredible.
Some people are on another level of that kind of like they can see it inside their head before it's built.
Yeah.
And then just go ahead and do it. I think that's just amazing. Like, but yeah. What about yourself, Trevor? Did you have a good weekend? What you get up to?
What did I get up to? A lot of sitting in my basement photographing Mythic Legion stuff for upcoming wave. That's
Were you happy with the final product?
It's coming along. Yeah, it's still. I'm literally just working on one now. So yeah, it's going to be a while, probably right up to the Legion's Con, which is on the 11th of November. So
good stuff. Yeah. So you'll be in attendance for that, obviously, then, yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Excellent stuff. Cool. So we're just going to address the chat. I think it's just the three of us tonight. Ian can't make it, and Mike obviously mentioned he couldn't make it as well.
Yeah.
Jose's working today, usually has Monday off, he was saying, but he'll be with us again next week. So really quickly, just going to address the chat. So who do we have here? One second, get a lot of music going. So we got Brick, who's in there first. We got Collector Joey, of course Trevor as well, warming up the crowd. And we got Phil as well, Emperor Strikes obviously on the panel and in the chat. Ryan Smith, channel member, thanks very much for being here. We got Neilerific as well, good stuff. Mark Mitchell, good to see you as well. Keith, the 6 scale Padawan, who again met in person for the second time. I think it was the second time we met in person yesterday. He was crewing at the Gamer Fest for one of the 501st troops, so my first official troop. And massive shout out to Keith, he was extremely helpful. I've never really been dressed by a man before, but now I know how it feels like. There was a lot of this. Can you get that strap, Keith? Yeah, can you get that Velcro? You know, is my belt hanging down? So you really do need definitely when it's your first few troops, you definitely do need people crewing as well, just to keep an eye on you. Because I noticed that like with I did a very simple mod to the helmet. I took out the bubble lenses because you literally can't see anything. Yeah. And then I swapped them in for a green visor because the eyes are actually in some of the movies like a tinted green, and you can see it actually in A New Hope in the original trilogy Trooper. You can see it, but I can see everything a lot better. But it's green. But because of just the way the eye holes are, certain things like say underneath your chest you're gonna miss. So if there's a kid there offering you a fist pump or something, you're probably going to miss that unless you're scanning constantly, you know. So,
but that's in character, so you know.
Yeah, exactly. There was some really
not
funny
caring about
ones,
kids
actually.
and missing. So
yeah, exactly. There was some funny ones. This couple came up and they had all the kind of Star Wars jokes and stuff like that, and I was fist pumping them. I put out my fist like this, and she missed on purpose. She was like, typical Stormtrooper. Like, so yeah, it was quite funny. So we got Rita, Positive Fandom, thanks very much for being here. X-Man Supreme Dave, great that you're here. We got Tally all the way from Germany. We got Mike as well, exclamation mark Mike. Good stuff. If space is running out, I don't like to think about it personally. Yeah, we're gonna have a chat about that. It's something that it's I've done a video on it. We've definitely spoke about it before, but I think it's just one that's an ongoing issue, so therefore we're going to come back to it. We got the 12-inch Moose stream. Great to see you here. Jose chiming in. Hey fellas, bummed I can't join, stuck at work. Catch up with you guys next week. No problem at all. You know, you should chime in when you can chime in. Thanks very much for saying hello. Oh my God, is that Shane? No. I think maybe he's referring to your photos, Phil. So definitely not. But we're going to show some of the photos there and the videos as well. But Machiavelli the Don, thanks very much for being here. Appreciate that. Strike 47, good evening and enjoyed my time playing Spider-Man over the weekend. I'd say you and a couple 100,000 people, by the sound of things, it's an absolute banger. So Phil, Trevor, and Focus, the Three Musketeers. Yeah, he's got you. He's definitely Keith, the 6-scale Padawan is definitely enabling you to get an armor, man. I'm telling you, I saw a few deals online. Actually, I saw a few deals online. Some really good.
Do a Mando thing, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work, man. You know, it's a lot of work.
You know what? One of the coolest. I don't like calling them cosplays because I think that's nearly insulting. One of the coolest, what do you call them? Armors, I'm going to say. London Celebration was a guy going around with a full-on Beskar Mando. And we spoke to him and he said he bought the helmet. It was like, I know, a Black Series helmet or stuff like that for, I think he said like $50 or something. Then he bought the plates 3D printed on Etsy and he said it was actually quite reasonable. Just lots of sanding, painted them the kind of the chromed out look, and then got a flight suit and stuff, and he put it together for, but it sounds of things, a reasonable price. It looked like he just walked off a movie set. So impressive. Really? Like, yeah, very impressive. So
I remember the first celebration I went to, they had the Mando at the end of the whole thing. They had the Mando march or whatever, and they all got together, and it was very impressive. It was very cool.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, that was one of my favorite things about Star Wars Celebration. We got Keith. Speaking of good things about Star Wars Celebration, met Keith here at Star Wars Celebration in London. Dressing 1/6 figure focus, bucket list completed. The bar is low, Keith. The bar is low. No, it definitely is massively important to have some people crewing this to help you out. So that with things like steps or making sure you're clearing the way in case you're bumping off people and the likes. So just some basic housekeeping before we get started. We're at 2,573 subscribers. Very much appreciated. And of course, we will be doing that giveaway when we hit the 3,000 subs of the Captain America Civil War, the Winter Soldier, basically from Captain America Civil War, which Ian has kindly donated. So we have pushed the show back on the Mondays here by an hour. I just put it up on the community tab of my YouTube channel, just basically asking would people prefer 9 p.m. as in this start time, Greenwich Mean Time, or the regular time at 8 p.m. and you see there for yourself, the overwhelming majority of 74% opted for it to be pushed back, so that's what we have done. We got Mike in the building as well. Thanks very much for being here. No problem at all, Mike. We'll hopefully see you again next week. It's always good at chatting with you. Right, so just shout out to the channel members, massively appreciate the troopers here. So we got Jim the Collector, Lancelot's Nerd Corner, Neilerific who's in the building, Mugwump, Mike L who's just actually made a comment there, Peyton 23, Shooty, Bendu, Windu, and Ryan Smith, who I believe I saw as well. And shout out to the commanders as well. Thank you very much for supporting the channel. We got Tragedy Tales, Alan the 6-scale Gallery, who won't be joining us today, I don't think. Shout out if you're watching or if you're catching on the replay, Alan, and of course the door is always open. X-Man Supreme and 12-inch Moose Stream, who are also in the chat here. We got Philip the Fool, Keith the 6-scale Padawan, special scout trooper there, because that's what the order has been made. That's the rumors. The order has been made. The rumor on the street that he's in the 12-week waiting period here now. So Mark Mitchell, thank you very much for supporting the channel. William Owens, Brandon Salad, We got Phil, obviously, who's on the panel here. The Empire Strikes Again, soon to be 501st member, I believe. Collecting Weekly and Boba Fettuccine, who I believe I saw as well. New videos. This is not a new video, but it's up there if you haven't seen it. And then just these, actually, I didn't make any new videos this week. It was a few shorts from what happened at the weekend. Right, so this is what we're going to be talking about. We actually got quite a bit. News was slow, but we're going to discuss any kind of new pickups and drop-offs. We're going to take a look at some of the photos that Phil took. Some fantastic photos with some fantastic armors there at Cardiff Comic Con. And did they call it BrickCon as well?
It was a Brickfest.
Brickfest, gotcha.
Yeah.
Some photos and videos from Gamerfest Dublin, which was yesterday. So it was my first official troop with the 501st. Enjoyed every single minute of it, including getting dressed by Keith. Miles Morales, we're going to take a look at that release. We're going to take a look at the biggest Venom that's the size of a small child. The quarter scale Mark 7, which I just think is mind-blowing, but I won't be able to afford it, but it's amazing. And I'm going to talk about space as well. It's an ongoing issue. So, I suppose, gentlemen, did you part ways with anything this week, or did you pick up anything? Doesn't necessarily have to be 6 scale.
Go ahead, Phil.
I've ordered the Attack of the Clones R2D2 from Toys by an Agent, so hopefully by the end of the week, but more likely the beginning of next week. So,
And did you pick up the C-3PO, or was that something you were keen on? Or?
I managed to PO. I originally had it with the Devil's Workshop, but cancelled everything with them now.
I see.
I couldn't actually find it anywhere, so I think it was Pop Collectibles. I managed to find it on eventually, so I PO'd it with them. So.
And is that like, are you waiting on that, or has that been shipped? Or
on the C3, I've ordered the Return of the Jedi. So it's the...
Oh, sorry, you went Return of the Jedi.
I've gone Attack of the Clones with the R2, but I've gone Return of the Jedi with... Because I know you're convinced they're going to release the Return of the Jedi R2.
I am convinced, yeah.
But I'm thinking...
my backup plan is to go back and get that original trilogy deluxe one and just... Just exercise patience. People will get bored of it eventually. Like, so there's always people who, who get in, get out. So, maybe, I'm just going to patience on that one. Like,
had a whole discussion on patience on the 1/6 pack last week. That was the whole theme of the show was patience. Yeah. You had either paying off or screwing pack.
You. Yeah. So you had the 1/6 pack last night, was it?
Friday night.
Oh, Friday night. Yeah, yep. Gotcha. Are you doing one Friday coming?
No, that's our week off, so it's every other week. So
you do week on, a week off. Gotcha.
It's too much, man. I got like 3 shows, and then I'm on all these other shows like yours.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's a lot.
See, that's price being in demand.
Yeah, well, I guess so. Yeah.
But So you'll be doing one like what Friday week? Would that be like the 3rd of November?
I think so. Yeah, the 3rd I think is the next show. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Well, if you're looking for another guest, like,
all right, if you're gonna be,
I haven't had a beer in about 2 months, and
are you ready?
I'm ready. This is the last week, and it's the last week. So
all right, you're in.
Yeah. I'll just crack one beer and I'll fall asleep. But yeah. So
we'll be in the 5-0 last.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. So massive shout out to the 36 people watching live and engaging in the chat. Really do appreciate it. Or if you're watching on the replay, of course the link to the channel membership is pinned in the live chat there if you want to consider becoming a channel member. So
I did get something, Shane. I didn't get the so
I
didn't sell anything.
I'm not finished yet. I'm not
finished
yet. Don't worry. I would not forget you. I would not forget you. So you have pre-ordered the Attack of the Clones R2, Phil.
Yes, yeah.
And there's nothing gone out, or did you?
No. I tried to sell the Chrome Dark Trooper quite a while ago.
Right.
But it's going for pennies at the moment, so I'm just holding on to it. Maybe I'll give that away when you hit 4,000 or something.
You never
I got
know,
that
you never
too.
know. Yeah, definitely, yeah. Or maybe I'll just take it off you. Trevor has a box. What's in the box?
Yeah, same thing, man. I'm trying to get rid of that Chrome Dark Trooper there. The Death Trooper, right? Is that the one you're talking about?
Yes. Death Trooper.
That and the Chrome Stormtrooper, or the Clone Trooper, which I don't know why I got in the first place.
If it was actually black Chrome, I probably would keep it. But
Yeah. I don't know why I got it in the first place. That was
Is this the
total-
one
because it looked
prototype?
black.
Yeah, I guess.
Because it looked black originally.
And did it end up kind of like a chocolatey or a coffee color or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, it was. Yeah,
kind of a
Right.
very dark brownish. Yeah, it's a weird
Strange.
color.
Very
dirty
strange.
water sort of.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not exactly selling it to me, Phil.
So anybody wants this. Both Phil and I have it available. It sounds good to you.
And they love it. They love it. It's a future grail.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But hey, Brandon, how are you getting on? Trevor.
But I
What's in the
did
box?
get probably my grail of grails. And I know grails is
This is a
dirty
full
word,
screen type of thing.
but this is something that I kind of gave up on thinking about owning, just because for what it was and the reason I wanted it. I've got a lot of Boba Fett figures, and I kind of fell into like, hey, I'm going to be, a Boba Fett completist to some degree. But I passed up on this one when it came out. I don't know why, and I ended up getting
Oh, nice.
Nice.
the animated version
Excellent.
of Boba Fett. Yeah, from a friend of
Very
mine.
cool.
Shout out to Bill at the Dork Lair. Very reasonable price for that, which is very
I
hard
love that name.
to find.
It's got like something. It's got vitriol in it, like the Dork Layer. Yeah, we're
It's
owning
perfect,
it.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
But
that's
yeah,
that's his
to
first appearance, really, as well, isn't it? The first, and it was in
And
any media. Would that be right?
yeah, and I watched that. I watched that live as a kid. So, and it was the
cool.
coolest part. I mean, we waited for the holiday special to come out. Like, it was Christmas, man. It was Christmas, but like it was like Christmas Day. And then it started, and we were like, both my brother and I are looking at each other like, what the hell is this? Like, we were old enough to say
We
hell,
waited
but we
for
were like,
this?
what? That's not Luke Skywalker. He's got makeup on. What is going on? What is this? Like, it was terrible. Then the Boba Fett cartoon came on, and it kind of redeemed it a little bit. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, good stuff. So that's kind of a big one, really, isn't it? Like that's kind of
Yeah.
Really
Yeah,
nice.
for sure.
Yeah. So Keith, the 6-scale Padawan, is saying the Attack of the Clones R2 is a bloody great figure. You'll love it, Phil. Weathering is perfect. Good stuff. Hot Toys tend to knock it out of the park there with the weathering.
Yeah.
Boba Fettuccine picked up Hot Toys Doc Ock over the weekend. Haven't had a chance to open it yet. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that one as well, despite the head sculpt issue. But I'm looking forward to that one as well. And we've got, this one is very relevant. Mike, it's like you're like in my head. For anyone who's been holding off for a deal on Batman Begins figure, it's 15% off in Sideshow today. That figure is awful.
Go get
It's also what I have right here. Now, I'm going to explain myself because I released a video over Christmas as part of the 12 Days of Christmas with the worst figures of 2022, and I stand by it. This is one of the worst figures released in 2022 because of, well, the first bodies, obviously, they had the glossy effect on it. The cowl looks like a pigeon and is not screen accurate. The cape is brutal. It's about as useful as a waterproof tea bag. The mouse plates. I always say mouse plates. The mouth plates are accurate. Christian Bale did some strange expressions in that cowl, but they really didn't have to pick those particular expressions, even though they are accurate. Like there's one in particular, the one I'm talking about, his face all scrunched up. It is not a good figure. I'm doing this because I've seen Dean Knight kit bash what I think is probably the best 1/6 scale Batman Begins figure that I've seen. He has a base which Ian actually sent to me that comes with a Spider-Man 3. It's wide enough that he can stand on it, narrow enough that the cape can drape below it. That's actually the second batch of that, so it's not glossy, it's matte, which is great.
Right,
But I mean, I've got to, that's the first. I got it from Lion Rock, and I said, look, we're going back and forth with price and stuff like that. And I was like, look, this is an awful figure. I'm going to review this, and I'm going to say this is an awful figure. I'm buying this so for the body, so I'm not going to pay that price you want. These prices are, they're crashing down everywhere. Like 15% in Sideshow.
It's nothing.
That tells you that this figure is not wanted. And if it's 15% in Sideshow, you'll get it for 30% somewhere else. And in Hong Kong, apparently, it's just on the floor of the prices. But the OT Customs cape I've got, which is the one that Dean Knight uses, and I've ordered a Jackson shoe cowl, which is actually due to release, I think, Q4, so through 1/6 kit, which was reasonable. It looks great. It's the right kind of shape. The likeness looks on point, so I'm just hoping that the final product turns out as good. But Jackson shoe does pretty good stuff, so I'm looking forward to putting it all together. And again, that's Dean Knight basically kind of opened my eyes to what kind of was possible with.
But you want to price this so that you got to put another $150 into this with a cape and a new.
Yeah, the cowl
or
actually
thereabouts, right?
wasn't
100,
too bad,
100 to
but yeah,
150
you're
or something
absolutely
like
right.
that.
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
So you want to at
Remember,
least
like-
get $100 to $150 off this thing if you're going to pick it up. 'cause
exactly.
that's what
So
you're gonna
people in
put
the chat are
right?
doing that. That's exactly what you need to be doing if you want to kind of not
Yeah.
completely pay through the nose. Because I
Hey, Captain Marvel's 15% off too. You know, I don't know if you.
They were
if
giving
anybody's
them
looking for
away,
Captain
weren't
Marvel.
they? Weren't they literally giving them
Her.
away? They were giving them away
That's
for
ridiculous.
something. But
thing
yeah, look,
never goes away.
it's. I probably won't open that. I have the cape upstairs. I got the base there. I'm waiting on that Jackson shoe cowl. Hopefully, it turns out as good as the prototype looks or close, and then I'll put it all together and do a video on it. Like I might have to review this beforehand, but I'm just going to. If you don't like negative videos, don't watch it because I'm just going to tell you the truth. It's not a good figure, but yeah. So yeah,
Probably going to be your best video ever, Shane.
Yeah, probably. Well, this. Like what's it? If it bleeds, it leads, or something like that. Isn't
Yeah,
that the
exactly.
the phrase? Was able to find a brand new Hope Leia. Should find her way into the collection on Wednesday. Nice. So
Nice.
yeah, that's just a beautiful figure. You got that, but you upgraded the dress. Would that be?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes,
'cause
and
you didn't-
it's worth it if you can find the dress. There was a lot of them made, but I mean, you're talking about a lot with a custom. It's probably maybe 100, 150. So it's not easy to find, but somebody will do another run, I'm sure, at some point.
And
But,
what was the
It's still great. It's still great.
name of the makers of that? Or...
Oh, who made that one? I don't think it was Yunsil, and I don't remember who ran it. It was so long ago. It might have been. Yeah, it was actually Yunsil. So there's a Korean seamstress. It's Tory Box is the name of the company, but
Right.
it's Yunsil, I think is her name. And she made it, and it's excellent. It just drapes better and everything. But I mean, it's a fantastic figure, even with the standard stock dress. It's great.
Good stuff. We got a few people like. Actually, I like the way that the chat get on board every week for a new in and out. So we got 12-inch Moose Dream saying bought the R2D2 from Amazon for $284.88 shipped. That's not bad at all.
That's pretty good.
So we've got who else? Thanks, Phil. I'm changing my name to the 6-scale bargain hunter. Good stuff. The cowl was about €80 or £80. Sorry, very reasonable. I just got my Jackson shoe cape. Did you go for the Jackson shoe cowl as well, Ryan? I think we might have ordered the same one if it's on pre-order with kit. That Leia is one they need to reissue as artisan. They're very hard to get the artisan bagels. I don't know, would they work?
Yeah.
Not if they come undone.
I don't know if I'd want that because I mean they'd have to be nice and solid. That's not really necessary on hair like that. As much as I love rooted hair, I just it's kind of unnecessary.
It would
Like
look
we were
nice.
talking about with Daenerys, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, if the braids could come undone, like, or if it's not done right.
but I still want that done.
Yeah.
Rooted.
All right. So, Grant. So I think we've got through everyone's new in and out and stuff like that. Oh, Peacemaker as well. Shout out to Joao. It's in the country. It's Clear Customs. So, I might do a kind of a skit unboxing review of that, courtesy of Big Bread is Wonderland. I have to get his logo and codes and stuff like that. He might let me do that. I have to contact him about that. But massive shout out to Joao if he's watching or watching on the replay. Really excited for that Peacemaker. Very, 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 very generous. So, do you want to take us through some of these images for this 46 people watching live and anyone watching on the replay, Phil?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So, I think in Wales we generally have. I think there's like a Comic-Con they hold in Newport, which is in the International Conference Centre. They have a anime one. I think that's in the ICC where this was. And then we have the Cardiff Comic-Con, Cardiff Movie and Comic-Con. First time I've been to a Comic-Con. First time I've been to a con outside of Star Wars Celebration. So tickets are really reasonable. Something I want to get my son into. He loves watching Star Wars with me, and he's fascinated with my figures. So my wife bought the tickets for this and for the Brick Fest, which was being held in a separate hall next door. And obviously the 501st were there. This was one of the members. I only saw, I think it was 5 costumes, but they were more. It was held all weekend. They were more there on the Sunday than they were on the Saturday. But I was working on the Sunday, so I couldn't make it. But yeah, Boba Fett, as you can see, he was doing the rounds.
This is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a really
good. It's probably one of the best, even in Celebration. It's probably one of the best Bobas I've seen. Even the same for the Vader, the Sand Trooper, the Scout Trooper. To be fair, he was a tall, slim lad, so it looked a bit odd because I always imagined the Scout Troopers being quite short and stocky.
Yeah. He should have gone for the Death Trooper.
Death Trooper, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Death Troopers tend to be...
That I could get into. I'm too short for that, though.
Yeah, we watched... when...
5'10".
Yeah, Draw had the place I'm living now, they had a mini-con. So that's like a few weeks back, if you remember, like I kitted up, I put on the armor, but it was purely just like, it wasn't an official troop. I was there with 501st, and they took the clearance shots for me, because all the different shots you need to send them on, and that's what I used to take for my photos to get my my kit cleared and signed off, and actually get my TK number and stuff. But there was a guy there who'd been in Rogue One, and he was a Death Trooper, and he was just like that kind of like tall, kind of sinewy kind of type of build, like yeah, and you could imagine him like in the Death Trooper outfit. He wasn't actually wearing the armor or anything like that, but yeah, those things matter. Like, yeah, so you reckon the Shore Trooper at Cardiff Con, he was quite tall?
Yeah, he must have been. I'm 6 foot on the button, and he was 6'3" maybe.
Wow,
right.
So he was quite tall. I mean, he made the Snow Trooper look really made him look like a Jawa. So
right, yeah.
Yeah, somebody that tall would be impressive as a Death Trooper, man. That would be really.
Don't get me wrong.
Intimidating.
His kit was really good. The outfit was really good. He was flying the 501st flag and what have you, but it looked a bit odd. But ironically, the Scout Trooper Hot Toys is actually, he's one of the tallest troopers. He's taller than the show, and he's taller than.
I noticed that as well.
So.
Yeah, I noticed that as well. He's tall. I have at the moment I've got the original trilogy normal trooper next to the Scout Trooper, and I've meant to send Keith a photo of this and go, look, that's me and you. But Keith is taller than me as well. Keith is I think I know he's in the chat there. Is he 5'11", 6 foot? I don't think he's quite 6 foot, but he's definitely taller than me. I'm 5'10". He's definitely a bit taller anyway. But so and it was there. So you saw Boba. I'll flick on through this. So I think that's amazing. That's a great photo.
It was a really good.
Of course, now that guy looks tall as well. So you're 6 foot. So this guy must be like Vader's 6'4". So this guy.
Yeah, he was a unit. He was a unit, and he wasn't. I've seen some of them wearing sort of these platform boots to make it tall, but he wasn't. Yeah. He was. Wow. He was good.
That's good height.
And then talk us through this. What's going on here?
So I'm really gutted I didn't pick anything up from this, but there's a young autistic Welsh artist, CJB Art, and these are all pencil drawn images.
Wow.
There's a few other things. He does sports personalities. You can see the Bonds in the background there. But they're mind blowing. I mean, I don't know if you can see top left, just under the two Bonds. Yeah. There's like a Darth Vader, and to the left of the Vader, it's a negative pencil drawing of Vader. And when you when you hold the camera over it, it displays the image that's on the right-hand side.
Oh, wow, that is very, very cool.
I don't know how he does it, but he's also got a Darth Maul, which is also negative as of the left image there, but it's color. So when you put the camera over, it's Darth Maul in red and black. I just don't know how he does it. But
So
yeah, I mean,
these are all like pencil drawn then, like
all pencil drawn. I mean, these were, I think the prices are on the corners there. They were like 20 quid. They were nothing.
Prints of the original drawings or the original drawing?
They were just prints. So he's got his own website. I think he's on Instagram and Facebook and what have you. But he wasn't there. They were filming a documentary on his art. But his dad was there singing his praises, really, really proud of his son, and I can understand why.
I see why, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That's pretty
I'm just
cool.
gutted I didn't pick anything up there, but I'll probably order something off their website.
Yeah, I'm kind of definitely, it's like the way my setup is now, like I'm kind of looking at places going, okay, I'm never going to put a shelf there. What print would look good behind it? So and they're all different sizes. So like I've got the original poster for the Dark Knight, and that's pretty damn big. Like, and then next I've got that oh god, is it Tyler Stout, the Terminator? I think I showed you it before.
Yeah, it's really good.
But I'm starting to see like different. They're all different sizes, and I like now that they're stepped at different sizes. But something like that would be kind of more like a square, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
like I could definitely find somewhere to put that in. Like so, yeah. So this is CJ Bart. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. I think you can just see it under there. I think it's CJB Art.
Right, CJB Art. Oh, right, okay. CJB Art. That makes more sense because we're all caps. I will definitely be checking that out. I do like that. That's very, very different as well. So then this one. That's awesome.
Yeah. He was charging £5 a photograph for that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
As in to get into it, it's £5?
Yeah, you could sit in it for £5. You take a shot of it and then come back later and collect the photograph. I wanted my son to sit in there, but yeah,
and is this like just like a one-to-one replica of something, or is it actually a DeLorean kitted out to look like it? Or
it's a replica, one-to-one replica. Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool. Like
he's even got the hoverboard there, I think, on the.
I see. Yeah. That's impressive. That's very, very cool. X-Man Supreme chiming in there saying, I have to take so much art off my walls to make room for figures place.
Yeah.
Sacrifice. When this actually ties in nicely to the today's topic, which we spoke about before, and we're more than likely. I pay $5. Typical shiny. We know you would. That's funny. So yeah, brilliant. Thanks very much for sending those images on. Yeah, I just saw your Instagram story yesterday, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So so I was yesterday. I was in Dublin at a place called the RDS. It's just a big arena where they have conventions and gigs and stuff like that. And they had a Gamer Fest on, and the 501st were there. So there was a few different. There's two different TKs, and there's a TIE Fighter pilot, and there was a Jawa, which is absolutely hilarious because the eyes lit up and I had the little sound effects and stuff like that. I'm told that being a Jawa is the best fun you'll ever have if you're in the 501st, because you get to steal people's phones, and they think it's cute and funny because people will, pick up their phone for to take a photo of you. And then you offer to take a photo, you take their phone, you walk away with it, and you can get away with it because you're a Jawa, and everyone thinks it's hilarious, very,
exactly
very
what
cool.
they were doing in Cardiff. Exactly what they were doing in Cardiff.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Jawas doing the same.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So this is this photo was taken by Keith. All these photos and videos, I think, were taken by Keith and Mark Parsons, who was there as well, crewing as well. We were lucky enough to have two people helping us out with the Velcro straps and all that kind of stuff. So that's myself on the top floor of the RDS, and then that's the show floor behind there. And then just kind of just a shot of say the back. You can see the holster hanging down there and stuff like that. Still have one little mod to do. That I did a few mods. I think I was explaining about them in the last one. I won't bore you with the details, but it's significantly more comfortable, and I can see better now on the various different parts. So this is Shane and Shane. So there was two Shanes here in TKs, and I think I'm the one on the left, and Shane is the one on the right. So it was the first time meeting him. Absolute gentleman. Gave me some nice coins as well. The 501st would swap coins and stuff like that for with little Star Wars kind of designs and stuff on them. And this is actually three Shanes. There was three Shanes in the 501st who were at the RDS yesterday. Shane, myself and the other TK, Shane Hughes, and Shane Murphy, who's in the middle there. Yep.
Hard to believe you'd find 3 Shanes at an Irish con. That's
3
really
Shanes,
shocking.
and in the 501st, it's like who's joking here? But we had to do the Spider-Man meme, like it was,
nice.
like, and every time someone said Shane, it was literally like in No Way Home, everyone just went yeah, and then people had to be a bit more no Shane, and I was like, no, we're all Shane, it was literally a meme for the whole entire day. So so it was a lot of fun. Really quickly before we outline this, I just want to show you 1 or 2 quick videos. They're very, very short, only like 10-20 seconds each. So the first video that I want to show is how we started off the day. So this was the kind of first time we it was cool because we had our kit room upstairs where we could we had a bit of privacy and we could change and stuff like that and get kitted up, and you had to get the elevator down. So it was a whole lot of fun. And this one is then for the afternoon, because we all kind of like maybe kitted for 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, and then at that stage we were starving and just needed to get a drink of water and some food. So after a bit of lunch, I suppose, kind of re-kitted. And the second one then,
guy was a little tall for a Jawa.
yeah, he was actually quite tall as well. Yeah, there was actually 3 Shanes and a Sean, and Sean was the Jawa. He was actually quite tall for a Jawa. Where's the other video file now? So this one then was the afternoon. Here we go. Yeah, so that's Shane Murphy there playing the part to a T. All right, folks, if you're just joining us or you're watching a replay, this is what we're going to be talking about. We've already discussed new in-out. We've already discussed Cardiff Comic Con, Gamerfest Dublin. We're going to take a look at Miles, Venom. I'll take a quick look at that Queen Studio 1/3 scale, beautiful statue of the Mark 7, the clean and battle damage version. We're going to have a quick discussion about space then to finish it off. So, guys... have any of you played Spider-Man 2?
I picked up PS5 probably about a month ago now, the Spider-Man 2 version of it, and I didn't realize I couldn't even play it. I didn't have a chance to hook it up, but I didn't realize I couldn't play it until Friday. But no, that said, I've been too busy to even open it up and play it, but I can't wait to. It looks great. I'm sure everybody's already done with it.
Yeah, I have. I'm not a gamer, but these type of games are the ones that tempt me to try and track down a PS5, and I know I'd enjoy it because like I have played games before, like I remember San Andreas back in the day, the PlayStation 2, like, or there was a game Enter the Matrix that I quite enjoyed playing, and as a kid, there was a Mega Drive and all that kind of stuff, and Mortal Kombat and all that kind of stuff. But like I wouldn't be a gamer. But I know I'd enjoy Spider-Man 2, and who knows? Maybe I do that. But I think if I do that, though, I think the girlfriend, that could be the end of it.
I know, that's the problem. Yeah. Like, I just
don't have really time. Another time-consuming hobby? Yeah.
And the only time I have, it would be like, hey, I'm going to go play some video games now.
Yeah. So this one here, would I be right in saying that this one is from the Spider-Man 2 game, and this is out now? Like, these are blogger picks and not okay, so look, we're going to take a quick flick through these and then get some feedback. Feel free to chime in the chat or leave a comment if you're watching on the replay. This is Miles Morales. They did a Miles Morales, I believe, for the first game. So this is not Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse or Across the Spider-Verse. This is based on the likeness or appearance of Miles Morales in the Spider-Man 2 game, which was released on Friday. Like, I don't have any interest in this. but I've also yet to see a Spider-Man figure that from Hot Toys that I didn't think was cool. Like this looks cool. It's just I could probably name a dozen other Spider-Man Hot Toys figures that I'd rather have before this. But what do you guys think? Are any of you interested in this? Any of you thinking about picking this up? I'm not really hearing people dying to get this, you know?
I'm hoping this game isn't going to set me down another path, but I don't think it will. Because, well, we're going to get to space, but I just don't have room. Nah, it looks cool. I mean, I was tempted. There was that Future Miles, also from the first video game, I think, that looked pretty cool, and that was very tempting. But yeah, nah, it's not something I need, I don't think, yet.
Yeah, you're not gravitating towards them.
No.
Yeah. I'd be the same. Like if there was something that would make me attracted to go and play the game, it'd be more the gameplay clips that I'm seeing now, as opposed to the figures. Bit of bunching going on here, but I suppose depending on the material and the type of Spider-Man suit, we're going to get that. A lot of the stuff bounces back, but it is unsightly. But I don't know. Is there a way of doing it where the material looks like this, but you can still articulate it and it doesn't gather? Or are we at kind of like close to peak materials?
I think this
when it
is
comes
it.
to
And I mean, what's I don't know. Nanotech. Right. That's it. Yeah. What do you think, Phil? Is this one that you're rushing out? You're going to get one to rock and one to stock?
No. I won't be picking this up. How similar is it to the Miles, from the original game?
I think the racing stripe, the red racing stripe is the difference.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't get me wrong, it's nice, really, really nice. I mean, I love all the Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All the Spider-Man releases, they all look pretty cool, as you said. But I haven't played this game. I've played some of the first game. Haven't played the second yet, but it's even playing the first game. It's never inspired me to go and buy all the variants that came with the original game.
Mm-hmm. But, I'm with you on that. Yeah, like it's. I'm trying to see the price on this actually. What does anyone can remember the price on this? Like these are blogger photos. Is this the one that I think they released 2 or put 2 up for pre-order on the one day or something like that? Would that be right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying to see like
the two of the Miles, is it?
There was a Miles, and I think there was there the Vance suit with the legs.
Yeah.
That's what happened. I think they were similar. They were both, I think, exclusives, and were they both limited? Maybe. That kind of. I'm trying to flick through this and see. So yeah, this is called Miles Morales Upgraded Suit, $290, and I'm looking on Sideshow here. Yeah, Miles Morales Upgraded Suit. It's a Hot Toys exclusive. It is $270, I think it was, or $290. Sorry. Yeah, it's funny. I'm reading the blog here on Sideshow. It says the seriously cool Marvel Spider-Man 2 video game. It is set to arrive in this October, so it's like they're saying it's seriously cool, but that was prior to it actually coming out. Okay, this is 2,000 units. That I don't know. That just doesn't do anything for me in terms of making me want to go out and pick this one up. But I'm curious if there's anyone in the chat who is put a lot of hours into this game who are is getting Miles or really needs to get Miles, or is anyone rushing out there? I don't see a whole lot of love for this particular suit, to be honest.
Because they don't generally release head sculpts of these gaming Spider-Man either, do they?
No. Which is interesting. There's no likeness rights there except for the gamer, the game creator, so it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I guess probably there's not as much call for it either, though.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm wondering if we got do we have a count? We need a count of how many Spider-Man versus how many Iron Man figures at the end of all time. Who do you think is going to win that race?
Infinity Spider-Man. So yeah, but they it's funny, because you think back to all the ones that come out. They really milked the first movie, or first figure line from the first game.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some amazing looking pieces, like that classic Spider-Man comes to mind.
Yep.
The advanced suit Spider-Man. Then there was the kind of silvery, the kind of shiny one that kind of looked like the one from from the end of No Way Home.
Yep.
I heard people buying that as a stand-in for that particular one. I'm seriously amazed by the second game. I am tempted by the new miles, but there's not many accessory. And my guy wants 315 for 2. Yeah, there you go.
It's pricey. It's pricey for what you're getting for this. That is $290.
World of Warcraft ruled my life some years ago. Can't fall down that rabbit hole again. Know your limits. That's it. Yeah, you gotta know your limits. Shiny. It would be cool if by playing the game you could unlock a discount for the figure. That would be. That's a great idea. Like, I know he's joking, but that's actually a great idea. Only thing I'm getting from the game so far, and I've already pre-ordered, is the Black Suit Tentacles exclusive. Good stuff. All right. Okay. Any final thoughts? We move on to the Venom.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, let's move on.
Right. So we move on
Monster.
to the Venom. So this yoke is giant.
Yeah.
We've all seen, I presume, the comparison photos where this is just, it's just like like an inch shy of the Hulkbuster, maybe.
Yeah.
It's just practically quarter scale size. I think this is bigger than a quarter scale size. So I mean, I'm just looking at, if I get the details on Sideshow here, I think so. Venom. I want to just make sure. I think that could be bigger than a quarter scale. So this is $455, due to ship July 2024 to December 2024. So that'll be just like next year then. So quarter 3, 4. And I'm trying to see details. It's absolutely, it's hulking over.
Do either of you have the Hulk? Have a Hulk from like the Avengers or anything?
The Hulk? No. Don't have a Hulk.
I mean,
or
I got that
Hulkbuster.
thing open. I'm like, this is massive. This is like as big as you're gonna get. I mean, I knew the Hulkbuster was bigger, obviously, but like, I'm like, this is insanely big, and this is a half as much again higher than that one, taller than that one. Insane.
I've got
crazy.
the Thanos. And he's pretty.
Yeah,
hefty,
Thanos
but,
too. Yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
But he's bigger than that. It's crazy.
Well, just to put this into perspective, so the
It's
height
like
on
Thanos
this,
on
it's
the Hulk's.
just shy of 21 inches, right?
It's crazy.
21 inches. Just bear that in mind now. Iron Man. Let me look at the Mark IV quarter scale. So, which I believe is smaller. So Iron Man. I'll take a quick look at the quarter scale. Just bear with me now. So I just want to make sure we get this right. And we're looking at quarter scale. So where is that? Okay, so for say the Mark IV quarter scale that came out recently, the one with the gantry. So Venom is 21 inches. It's actually 20.87, just shy of 21. And the height of the quarter scale Iron Man is 19 inches. So I mean, that's pretty crazy, like, you know. So this thing is huge. Looks the business. That I love that shot. I really like that shot in terms of like the face, the head sculpt look very similar to the.
Yeah, these images are great.
Yeah. It looks very similar to the Sony, Tom Hardy Sonyverse Venom. Just the face sculpt is, I think it's quite similar, but there's more of a smirk going on in this one, like a smile. I suppose you finally got the white spider, the white Venom logo on the front. Two kind of symbiote swap out arms here. I think you get swap out arms, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. So you've got the kind of fisted regular arms, and you've got this kind of
insane
thing. That's twice the size of a standard 6-scale figure, really, isn't it? Like,
it's twice the width of a standard 6-scale figure too.
Yeah. So I don't think this will fit in a detolf. Just put that out there. So
take a shelf out.
Yeah, right. 2 shelves.
Maybe. I wonder what the width is. I wonder what the wingspan is on that thing. Let's see.
Yeah.
On the sides.
I'm trying to just, if it's 53 centimeters tall, and I'm just kind of looking from like, so like say from his knuckles to knuckles there.
About half that, right? Like 20.
About half, yeah. That's what it would seem. I'd say it's more or less half. So you're talking, if it's 20, about 10 inches wide then?
Yeah.
Yeah, the sculpts look really good though. I like
really
the detail
like
of the teeth and the tongue, yeah. But I wonder, like, are people happy, as in like people who've wanted, say, comic accurate Venom? is this from what I understand, this is what people were looking for.
Mm-hmm.
But is he oversized in the game? Say relative to Spider-Man in the game.
Yeah.
Is he as big as this relative to Spider-Man in the comics?
No, not originally. We were talking about this on Friday too. It was again a game of patience. Tom, who you met, picked up the first Venom, and then this is coming out. But what he really wants is a comic Venom. I think is what he was looking for. So, does he sell that one? Pick this one up just because it's got the spider on it and it's a little closer to comic Venom, or do you wait for eventually? Maybe a closer to comic Venom or some other property that when he appears in the MCU or something, maybe they bring it closer to comic Venom. Probably not in the suit. It's probably going to be more like this, but maybe they'll never come out with something like that. Maybe a third party will come out with that. Who knows? So you take your chances. But this is closer, I would say, than the.
So you think a third party might come out with like the standard kind of?
I think that's an easy pick, man. I mean, Venom's is a home run pretty much anytime you sell one. So I think there'd be people out there looking for just the sort of spandex look for it with the even with the blue feet or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to flick through some more of these images there. I'm really impressed by the sculpts.
Yeah,
and it's nice to get two as well. So you got the kind of standard. There's definitely a smile going on here. It's a sinister smile, but it looks fitting. The texture looks gooey.
Really good. It looks amazing.
In a kind of like a good way. Like it's supposed to be kind of visceral and gooey. And
some people were remarking on the not liking the spider going over the shoulder like that. If they hadn't done that, it would have been a little closer to comic version and the little cuts and stuff. But it's their design. It's the game design. Trying for their own thing.
This is kind of funny. I'm laughing at like the awkward Spider-Man advanced suit posed here. It looks a bit like he's operating a forklift or something.
Get away from him, you bitch.
Yeah. It's very like as if he's in a power loader stance, whereas the Miles behind it looks really well posed.
Yeah, you'd think he'd be coming at him instead of, I don't know, kind of falling backwards, and I don't know what's holding him up, really. Yeah, that's a great shot.
This is bloody cool, yeah. It's very cool. Looks like straight out of the game from what I've seen. Yeah. And I've heard that, like, say, a lot of these photos might have been taken with a lot of, like, kind of direct light, so that's showing up possibly the seams a bit more than the way it would actually appear in regular natural lighting. Would that make sense?
Yeah, I suppose you're going to see the seams. I mean, that stuff never bothers me. I mean, I'd rather have articulate. I mean, the limited articulation you're going to get to begin with. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have some seams. Like I don't think this waist is going to move much at all. Like you're not going to get any bend out of this thing.
People were speculating that this could be like a power pose or something like that, and I'm glad it's not. People like we could buy statues if we just wanted to do that. Like,
you can't do a power pose with Venom. You got to have some movement on there.
Yeah,
and Tom pointed out to me that the tendrils and stuff aren't reused. Those aren't reused from the other Venom either. So they're creating all new little, dyes and stuff for these things, each time. So Venom's a good seller if you're spending that kind of money.
So when I saw it first, I was thinking, because the head sculpt kind of stood out to me. I was like, all right, they've just done the same version again and slapped the spider on it and give a few different accessories, but. Then I read, oh God, it's like 53 centimeters tall. And then I started looking at the other kind of subtle details. But yeah, it's like the head sculpts are different. The accessories are different, tendrils. Yeah, it's some lump of the oak, isn't it?
Great looking.
Yeah. Are you in on this, Trevor?
No, not at all. I'm not even a fan of Venom, really. I mean, I read the original comics and stuff, but I don't know. Just it never really stood out to me as being. I liked when he got the symbiote suit, but it devolved into just I don't know, just something I didn't really care for after a while. I hope they bring it back around in the MCU. I hope they when he finally gets into the MCU, they sort of correct the Tom Hardy stuff. But not for me. Too big.
Good stuff. Yes, it wouldn't be something. I wouldn't claim to be a big Venom fan, and because it's, I suppose, comes back. We could probably tie in nicely to the space issue. Like, I mean, the set of rules I tend to live by, like when it comes to collecting, like even they're under strain now because of like the amount of stuff that's coming, and they've got to be even more selective, and you know, which is, it's just like, so the thought of buying something from an IP that I have no real exposure to, just a non-runner for me. But I can appreciate the design and the artwork on things like the sculpt here and everything, like, you know. Yeah, so Phil, is this something you've any interest in?
No, I'm fortunate, like you guys, not to be. I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of Venom, but it's just great looking figure, great to look at. Same as the Carnage was great to look at. I would be interested to see one in hand because I've never actually seen any of the previous Venoms, Carnage.
Yeah, I'd love to see.
Yeah, because it's just to get a feel of the, whatever you call it, whether it's the suit or whatever it may be. But I'd love to see one in hand as well. But
I just want to see how massive this is in person, man.
Yeah,
this point, this is I think I saw some photos in the week where the pole actually, I'm gonna say it, the pole goes up his hole. Like, isn't it kind of like, isn't there there's some attachment on the back that,
is there really? For real?
Was that Photoshop, or did I imagine that? There was some weird.
I didn't see that.
It's like the pole comes up and there's just like this circular piece behind. It's kind of like behind his butt.
Well,
and it plugs in or something like that.
Maybe, yeah, because he's a regular flight stand isn't going to hold this figure up. This figure's going to weigh a ton. So, like, yeah, maybe they did like almost like the Inart Superman type of deal where it kind of
it's. I remember looking
back
at going,
or upper butt or something like that. I don't know.
I remember looking at going, yeah, that doesn't look great. Like, you know what I mean? So there was other ways of surely clamping this guy on to make sure he doesn't fall over. Like, but yeah. So
flight. I mean, a flight stand. Think about that. As tall as this thing is, now you're gonna
magnets, man.
Now you're gonna lift him off the ground. You know what I mean, and make it even higher.
Yeah. I'm so tempted to get this Venom, but I'm not gonna play the game, so it's really not for me. Yeah, these are the decisions you gotta make.
Yep.
And I could see pairing this figure up against Wolverine though. Now, how you just did it, yeah, that's on you, man. You just did a U-turn there on your own. This piece would be standing alone for me. All right. Got shiny, giving the laugh there to Big Rib. I'd like to pair this one with the Toy Zero Juggernaut to create Venom versus Juggernaut from the comic book series as a kid. Good, so a lot of ideas here. It seems to be very versatile piece, but it wouldn't be for me now, but I do appreciate it. It does. I think people are going to get excited about this. Now, let's go into a new section, which is called Stuff That I Can't Afford. But look, it's fun to dream. It's fun to dream. Shout out to the 50 people watching live now. If you're not a subscriber already and you're enjoying the content, maybe consider clicking the like button, subscribe. And there's the links to channel membership is pinned to the chat. So this is the Queen Studios Iron Man Mark 7 1/3 scale statue. I believe this is about 2,000 and I think the lead time is due for release Q4 of next year, I believe. We got to take a look at this. I mean, Mark 7, it is one of those. I'm conscious of using the word iconic. I think it's overused, but it's Avengers 2012, and the Mark 7 is a bloody beast of a suit. It looks absolutely beautiful, but this is 1/3 scale, 2Gs. There's a clean the battle damage version. What do you think of this, guys?
Wow.
Yeah, again, this is insane. This is what I have on my shelf now for my Iron Man. It's I like it. It's great. I think I like the Mark III a little bit better, but this is crazy. There's no room for this, and it's again, this is a thing that for 2,000. If I'm spending $2,000 on something, not that I haven't like on customs and stuff, which is weird to say. It's going to have to be something I really, really love. I don't know. Most
people, when they spend $2,000 on something, it has an engine. Do you know what I mean? Like this has an arc reactor, but it's
sure there's an engine of sorts. Yeah,
it's a statue, Shane, is it?
It's a statue, yeah.
Yeah.
But there's two different versions, I believe. A clean, the battle damage. Okay. Which one would you go for if it was
clean,
say, gifted?
Yeah, clean.
You go clean.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I quite like this battle damage.
for that kind of money. I mean, I don't know. I love battle damage, but like, I don't know if I'm spending $2,000 and I want an iconic version. I kind of want.
I can see where you're coming from. My default would be battle damage, weathering, but yeah, I can see your point.
It looks cool.
That much, yeah. I think this is it's just a great looking suit anyway, isn't it?
Speaking of Queen Studios, that the Terminator bust
sold out.
Sold out.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That was impressive.
And I wonder.
That was very impressive.
Yeah, very impressed. Definitely one of the coolest kind of pieces I've seen all year. But
now, if this mask came up electronically and then there was a sculpt below of Tony Stark,
then you pay $2,000.
Maybe I'd pay $2,000 for that. If I could hit a button, it would do that. That might be worth it right there.
I love all these scuff marks and stuff like that.
It's a tough call, man. I wouldn't know which one. If I was going to buy this, I wouldn't know which one to get.
Third scale. So I'm looking at the quarter scales here now. I'm guessing that third scale maybe is. Trying to see how much bigger would it be. So if you're working off like what? Okay, so if assuming like what would he be in this suit? Like I know the suit adds a bit of height, like, and I suppose it's hard to say because Robert Downey Jr. is quite short, and the way that they shoot it is to make him look taller and stuff like
6
that.
feet.
But, so he's supposed to be 6 something. So wouldn't like third scale then be
2 feet?
2 feet.
Yep.
So 2 feet. What's that about? 60 centimeters thereabouts tall. I'm trying to look.
Yep. I think so.
I'm looking at the quarter scales going, so it's a bit bigger than that. Then a good bit bigger. Yeah, it would look pretty magnificent. 2,000 is a lot though.
Yeah.
I don't think I could justify it. Do you know what? It's the flame effect. I don't know if I like the flame effect or not.
I was just gonna say, that looks a little cheap.
It reminds me of Molten Man. I know it's
maybe it's just
better.
Contained like that. I don't know. Did they have a whole shot of it with that base? Or no?
I'm gonna keep.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Yeah, that looks pretty.
It's a little better there.
Yeah, it looks way better there. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
The clean. I can see your point in the clean, because if you're gonna go spending that kind of money, and then what will delivery be? €500 or $500? Something ridiculous. Delivery.
Yeah.
It could be 300 easily. Like, you know.
Yeah, over here for sure, because there's no importers. So yep.
It is stunning though. Yeah, I might gravitate towards the clean on that if that was if it was an option.
Now this is it. Like there's no other swap out arms or anything like that with different poses. It's just this.
No,
Okay.
It's a statue, so I presume it doesn't mean there's 89 centimeters.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah,
sorry.
I mean,
he's taller because of the base. Yeah. Okay. 89 centimeters. That's maybe me.
I know that Hot Toys and Sideshow anyway has done statues that can pose, like you can swap out an arm and put it in a different position or something like that.
Great piece.
Yep. Beautiful.
It'd be cool if they did have like swap out battle damage plates, as in not just like Hot Toys. The most they give us, I think the most they've actually given us when it comes to swap out battle damage parts was for the Mark 1 War Machine, because it wasn't just the faceplate, the shoulder pads, and the chest plate. There was stuff for the back, I think, as well. There's a lot of swap out parts that battle damage. Whereas typically the Iron Man, you get a chest, a body armor, and maybe some shoulder pads like the Mark 3. But this whole thing is ruined. Like that's the detail, and that the gritty, and it's dirt as well, because I suppose they'd be dust and stuff would have been kicked off from all the explosions. That side profile is
really nicely done. Yeah, the damage is really good.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so look, we're going to get one of each, and that'll be it. Yeah, grand. Yeah, no problem.
And then we'll compare.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, exactly. Right, so I'm going to get rid of this. We're going to move into the last part of the show. Kind of, in terms of space, like, I've done videos about it. We spoke about it multiple times before, but it's kind of your arch enemy when it comes to collecting. Whether you're collecting statues or 1/6 scale or 3 3/4 or vehicles, you're probably only 2 weeks to a month away from a paycheck, but your space is your space unless you move somewhere else. Like so. Yep. I mean, anyone like any thoughts at all I think we're open to suggestions. Like I definitely started rotating. I've started rotating.
Suggestion? I don't. Yeah, I mean, I become one of those. I never wanted to be, because I collect like 1/6. That's what I started with. I've got a lot of 1/12 now that I do like Mythic Legions photography and stuff. I've got all those. Some Marvel Legends, Black Series, and now I've gotten into like Joy Toy, which is 1/18 and stuff. So, and Mezco, and now I've got stuff that I've got to sell. Like I've come to the realization that I've just gotten stuff that I'm not that into. You know what I mean? And I'm waking up to the fact that there's occasionally things that I buy, like a Chrome Death Trooper or something like that, that I don't need. That I don't need. I don't like this stupid Sith Trooper, and I didn't like the movie, so why do I have this? Because it was an exclusive at SDCC, so I picked it up. But I've also become one of those people who puts things in bins now, and I are you even collecting things if they're in a bin and you're not, displaying them somewhere? It gets a little weird, and so I'm definitely trying to pare down now in terms of I've made more space with this shelving here. They're deeper. I still got to work out some layout and stuff with these, but I'm at the point where I've got to push back. There's more space over there on the other side of the basement, but I'm using it for some storage and for a place where I do some painting and stuff like that. And I'm gonna have to bust into that and find I've already bought a storage unit, which I really avoided doing because again, now I'm spending money to store boxes that are they even going to add up to the value that they're going to add to the figure when I go to sell it, based on what I'm paying for the storage unit. You know what I mean? That could cost you $1,000 to $1,500 a year for a storage unit. And, are those boxes worth it, or should I just be throwing out those boxes? It's hard to do, especially with 1/6. It's very hard to do, but I've seen people do it.
But the figures that say that, you're like, why do I have this? Do I even like this? Would you consider them missteps? Would you be willing to part with them and sell them? Or
oh yeah, I'm actively looking to sell some of them now. I've sold some things, but every time I go through here, I know there's that sentimental thing. I look at something and I go, I don't really need that, but I like that. It looks really good there. So, I bought that Punisher. I guess it was a video game, Punisher War Machine.
Another one.
It just looked really cool, right? But it goes with nothing. It really doesn't fit into anything else that I have. So that's one that's probably going to go. It's stuff like that. I got the Susu Toys Homelander figure. I think I brought that up in the last show, and I'm double thinking that whether or not I want to get the boys in 1/6, only because they're not all that great so far. So why do I have them? I can get 1/12 representations, or I can just tell people I like the show and not have any representation.
Exactly.
It's I don't have to prove it by having an action figure that I like the show. You know what I mean? So
I get you. There's there's a few, I've definitely started rotating. At the moment, there's undisplayed figures. There's not too many, but there's the battle damaged armored Batman is currently not on display because I put a pre-order down for the Inart BVS. So, when that arrives in 18 months or who knows, 2 years, I'll pose it up with the battle damaged armored Batman. The original Durasteel Mandalorian is currently undisplayed, and Boba Fett. I have Boba Fett, the post Sarlacc one, with the armor displayed. I had the Boba Fett displayed. I really like that head sculpt, and I actually really like that figure, but that's currently boxed up. And then the artillery and incinerator, so ketchup and mustard, they're boxed up. But I mean, as much as I try, 99% of the stuff I have falls under that triple threat, that kind of loving the source material, loving the character, loving that particular version, the armor or outfit or whatever.
Yeah.
But I still make missteps. I mean, I've started asking myself as well, will you love this in 5 years' time? Will you love it in 10 years' time? I mean, your RoboCop, your Terminator figures, your Darth Vader, whatever. Absolutely. But then, say, as much as I love troopers, and there's some troopers I won't part with, you look at ketchup and mustard, you look at artillery incinerator, and that's why I steer clear of the chrome stuff, because I'm I see that as a gimmick.
Yeah.
But in a way,
not
ketchup and mustard are kind of a gimmick as well.
they are.
Even though
I mean, at
the
least they're on
incinerator trooper did a
screen
lot more
gimmicks.
than the artillery.
You know what I mean? They actually appeared on screen at least.
Yeah, true.
So
But
you
you
have
mean-
those boxed up. Are you actively looking to like maybe
They're
get rid of
boxed
those,
up.
or you just can't?
They're boxed up. They're boxed
Yeah,
up.
bring
And
yourself
see, a lot of time, if I box, okay, not all the time. Sometimes if I box something up, I'll list it just to have the option. Whereas like the battle damage armor Batman, that's not listed.
Mm-hmm.
The Durasteel Mando, that's not listed, and the Robo Fett, it's not listed. But I've listed the artillery and incinerator. If I got a good price, I would win. The power of them.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's funny, like, because I'm looking up here, like, and I'm looking at the assault tank commander, and the weathering on that, it looks real world. Whereas if you
Yeah, I
put that
know.
next to the artillery trooper, it looks far too shiny. It looks toyish compared to it. Yeah.
Let me ask you about so we were just got talking about the Batman Begins and how much you hate it, and yet you're going to upgrade it and put some work into making it better. But I mean, this goes to your topic and to our topic on Friday of patience. I mean, Inart has got that license. Odds are at some point it could be 2 or 3 years from now that they put out that figure. And but you want that representation on your shelf right now.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And I think there's patience and then there's reality.
This
as
is
in
what we were talking about. Yeah, exactly.
because like, okay, I do think we're going to see a Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary R2D2. I do think that's going to happen. And if they don't do that, they will do another original trilogy R2D2.
Sure.
You know? And I'm happy enough, like, going, I'll just wait for it. If it doesn't happen this year, it doesn't happen next year. And eventually, if I run out of patience, I'll cross that bridge when I come to go back and get the deluxe one or whatever like that. But Inart have said they're going to do a DX19 style Bale Batman. They've said they're not doing. They haven't said straight out we're not doing the Batman Begins one, but it's the DX19, the second version of the Batsuit from the Dark Knight, Knight Rises. So they're at the moment not officially slated. They're not. It's not even on the list.
No, yeah, I know.
You
That's
what I mean?
I
So
mean,
it's
yeah.
like,
It's a
you know,
taking a
let's say it
chance.
gets on the list today, we probably still won't see it for 3 years. You know what I mean? So,
Well, this is what I went through
yeah.
with like Gandalf. Like I bought the first Gandalf from Asmus. It was terrible looking, but this was early on, and like I wanted a Gandalf, so I got it. And it was fairly cheap back then. And then they came out with the Crown, which was much more, not Inart cost, but $350 or whatever. And it was. You got it in hand, and you're making excuses like, it's okay. It looks good. The eyes look a little sunken. But it's nice. It's definitely an upgrade, and it's Gandalf. And I got to have Gandalf on my shelf. You know what I mean? So then, a year later, like here we go. Here's the ultimate Gandalf that Inart has put out, and I guess I could have saved all that time and money and not bought those in between. But it's like you don't know that's coming along. You don't know that's happening at that point. So yeah, you just
this point
Goodbye.
here, you could argue this two ways. It's like, if you have to pay for storage, then you probably don't actually want those figures. You could argue it another way as well, going, if you're willing to pay for storage, you're not ready to let go of those figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't even have
You
one
could,
figure in storage. I just have a whole room for boxes, which is insane.
Oh, it's the boxes. Gotcha.
It's just
gotcha,
boxes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you. Phil, any? I've started actively rotating, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's not like I'm taking the entire collection down on a week-to-week basis, because one of the, as much as I love CCFLs and the fusion reactors, they're wired in, and to hide the wires, with the cable ties, it does take time and effort. So I need to consciously go, if you're in here, if we've got you wired up in this pose, you're staying here for a few months. Do you know what I mean? That's just the way it is. So when I'm kind of moving things around, I've got to be like, okay, if you're going up there, you're going to be wired here. You're going to be posed next to other figures from your movie or your IP or whatever. So it's not as if I'm taking 20 out and then boxing them all up, because that's going to take ages as well. It's little by little. But yeah, I've actively started rotating. What about yourself, Phil? How are you dealing with space? Well,
So I originally started out with a couple of bookshelves because I was collecting Black Series originally. Then I haven't actually sold all those off yet, but they're all packed away, and one day they're going to go. So, but when I got into the 6-scale game, I started with the Mandalorian, but I bought a Detoff secondhand. Obviously inspired by your displays. So I think originally I had one, maybe two in each, but my collection really escalated in the beginning. I was just...
This sounds familiar.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, love that Trooper. Mandalorian show was just taking off, so they were releasing everything. So yeah, got to get that. Fortunately, it has slowed down quite a bit. And in terms of like comic book characters, originally I was starting to dip into the Infinity and Endgame lines, but then I thought, no, I'll just go with heroes and villains. So I've got a couple of DC and I've got a couple of Marvel. But the collection has slowed down. And thankfully, this year there hasn't been a lot of figures that have sort of piqued my interest. Even though the Ahsoka ones, the Hera and everything, they're amazing looking figures, but I'm not going to get them yet anyway. But yeah, I started off with one Detoff, sorry, and then they started spreading into the bookshelf where the Black Series were. Then everybody was talking about module cases. I looked at the price of the module cases and the waiting times. My wife was pulling her hair out because they were then spreading into the living room. So thankfully Costa came along with his custom cases, and hence that behind me. But at the moment, I'm probably safe for at least maybe another 10 figures before it gets ridiculously full. After that, I don't know. Maybe I've never considered rotation, but
and it's not for everyone either, because it's going to take a certain amount of time investment and effort. And then if you're boxing and putting up the attic like I do, that you've got to go up and do that. It's not a major issue, but it takes a bit of time. And then there's people have the thought, and rightly so, that if something costs $300 and you're putting it in the box for most of the time, what's the point? And I completely see that. But I just wouldn't be like that. Say Durasteel Mando, I don't want to leave that go because I just think it's an amazing figure, and I know that the option to swap out the Durasteel, or have the both of them next to each other or something like that. Even like the start and the finish. Like I had that. I had the just directly behind me where the DX13 is solo now because the kind of movie icons display is downstairs. I had the T800 and the DX13 next to each other, and it worked really well, even though they're the same character, in the same way that Boba Roba 2-pack works very well. Because it's like, him when it just surprisingly it works very, very well, even though they're the same character. It's like two different versions of it, like dark side and light side Anakin, or Anakin and Vader. And that's something as well, like, because downstairs with the Mills bow, like there's 4 shelves, but the way it divides naturally, it's like 8 pieces. You've probably seen it on the short I put up, and it's 1 per space down there now because it's movie icons. But with the troopers, I was pairing up troopers that kind of would have appeared on screen together, and they were posing really well. So there was, like, say in some of the cubes there was 2 and it looked really well. So you could have got like up to like 16 troopers and it wouldn't have looked right. It still would have looked like a really, really good display. You could have the poses there a bit different, and it was looking really nice. But then when I wanted 1 per shelf, so that means I had like 12 troopers down there. I'm putting 8 in, so it's like I'm losing 4 spaces, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So something's got to give then. So it still is fun though. I still think there's something kind of therapeutic about, okay, how do I get these in here, in the poses I want, in the kind of groups I want, and still be happy with the display when I walk into the room. And you'll be tweaking and tweaking and tweaking, and you might be getting a bit annoyed, and eventually it just clicks into place and you're like, that's it. And it's like that then for a few weeks or a few months, whatever, and then you get bored and want to change it again. But I suppose it keeps it interesting. Yeah. So in terms of like what, like, eventually, no matter how much you buy,
this is the question you do not want to face. This is the
no matter how, like, if we just reality check, there's always okay, fine. Mando season 3 wasn't great. I don't particularly think Ahsoka was great. Thankfully, a lot of the MCU shows are dirt these days, and so which is good because it's like I don't really want to get anything.
I think that's probably why like my collection has slowed down because all these IPs.
But that's good because you're not just buying stuff for the sake of it.
I did pick up Moon Knight. I actually like Moon Knight. I thought it was a good show, but I like the look of it. But yeah, you're right. Yeah. I mean, like I'm very tempted by that She-Hulk. I enjoyed She-Hulk, but it wasn't great.
That looks awesome though.
Yeah,
like I can appreciate that figure.
It looks
amazing.
really cool.
Yeah, and I think
I
it
could stick that up with the Avengers
really well with the Daredevil as well. Like I know a lot of people don't like the kind of mustard look, whatever, but I just think the two of them. That's again kind of like what I was saying about those companion pieces, like say like the Mark 1 War Machine and the Mark 6. They appeared on screen. The color difference, they look really well together, and especially with the fusions and battle damage parts. The She-Hulk will look really good with the Daredevil. But what happens eventually when you're like they're eventually gonna good movies will come out, maybe new IPs and licenses will come in Inart, or maybe it might increase production. Hot Toys aren't going to stop, they want to make money. There's always going to be movies you will just like, that's a banger, that TV show is a banger, that head's going to make. There's always going to be new stuff. So no matter how big your house is, no matter how big your budget is, you're going to hit a stage where you're like,
I will.
Yeah.
Because what is the plan then? Because by the way, I do not have the answer. I'm just I'm thinking out loud.
I would say before you even get close to that, make a plan, because I'm getting to that point, and it doesn't feel good actually. It's like when you get a box in, like you're excited to get a figure, and then you get the box and you go, there's that tinge of like, I don't have any place to put this. You know what I mean? Like there's another thing. I've got to get rid of some stuff, and I look around like, what am I getting rid of? I don't want to get rid of that, but I'm coming to the realization that I think, like, I started out with 1/6 because I shot it a lot. Like I did a lot of photography with 1/6. I still like to do it, but it's really made for close-up tight shots and stuff. Like building sets and stuff for 1/6 it's way too much. So there's a lot of ancillary characters that I think I'm going to pare down and get rid of, and keep like some key iconic, kind of like more like what you're doing, Shane. It's just key iconic figures from things, and hopefully that. But yeah, I mean, what do you do? You gotta have some sort of either a plan, or you gotta check yourself, man, because like I do it weekly. like what are you doing, man? Why did you get this? Why do you don't need these? You don't need these. So I'm starting to get to the point, because I'm at that point, and I have a whole other room of stuff that I'm selling over there that I just don't want to bring any more in until something else goes out, I think. So,
yeah, I think maybe trimming the fat in the collection is probably a thing, as in like, look at the characters and go, right, is there anything here that like I'm not going to like in 5 years time, or I've fallen out of love with, or there's a better one on the market? Because a lot of the time, like if I just off the top of my head, like I sold the MMS 67 and 68, they were like a Batman and Joker figure. Like the Joker paled in comparison. Not even, it's completely different to the Inart Joker, so that was a win. You know what I mean? Like selling, say, I had 2 DX19s, selling one of them because eventually Inart will get the shit together and do the Bale, and that's probably going to come home. So then I have one for the Batpod, and one to pair with the Inart Joker. So that's fair enough. But I was on track to having 9 Spider-Man at one stage, and I am not like a big, massive Spider-Man fan. So that's ridiculous, like, you know what I mean? So, and now I've got it. Okay, I didn't have 9, but the ones I was interested in would have added up to 9. So I was like, right, okay, realistically, what are you trying to achieve here? Do you mean Andrew Toby in the integrated suit, the one from Homecoming, which I'll never part with, and that other base one, like, and even that is pushing, I think, for me personally, like, I can understand if people are diehard Spider-Man fans, they want out of Spider-Man. Some people are diehard Vader fans, they want out of Vader, like yourself, the Boba Fett fan. I get that, and that's fine if you're a diehard Spider-Man fan. But if I'm more of I suppose a fair weather Spider-Man fan, I've no shame in admitting it, like, but it's because the movies just, especially those like the likes of Homecoming, No Way Home. Again, I've said it repeatedly. Tom Holland is my favorite rendition of Spider-Man, and I grew up with the Tobey ones, and I've seen the Andrew Garfield one. But some people out there need all the Spider-Man. I get that, but I did not need 9. You know what I mean? And if I didn't check myself there, I would have been in a spot of bother.
Yeah, you gotta. My hell is that this is my hell. I have like plans to make this basement, actually finish it and make it bigger. But that requires me to like pack all this stuff up and get it out of here, and that's daunting as hell. So I'm like almost paralyzed to the point of like I need more room, and yet the prospect of taking everything out of here to make more room is too daunting to even move forward with making more room. So it's
that is a daunting. Just even, I'm getting a bit anxious you talking about it.
Dude.
That's like moving house. That's like moving house.
Oh, good Lord! I never want to move. But I'm basically have to do that. I mean, with this, I'm gonna have to get it all out of here.
Because even moving house, I was like, there was 1 or 2 figures. I'm like, I'm really happy with that pose, and it's just a little subtleties that I'm like, I'm not going to be able to replicate that. So I just, removed the accessories, wrapped it up in bubble wrap, taped it, and just said, right, I'm going to put this on the chair next to me and make sure that makes it right. But other ones, I was like, okay, I'm just going to rebox them. But I like this question. Mike Fellas said, focus. I can appreciate spreading out the wired light up figures across your display, but would you consider having one detail dedicated to those? No, I wouldn't. I like them spread it out. I'm willing to put in the time and effort if the vision I have in my head works out. Plus, if you got to think about it as well, if you have one detail, 4 shelves dedicated to wiring, you're wiring right up to the top, and then you're putting in more wires, and I'm trying to hide them behind the great poles. That can get a bit like
this feels kind of unbalanced to have just one with all the light up.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd rather have like, sections, even if like people look at it and go, all right, it looks a bit random. In my head, there is sections like original trilogy on the top, and the 3rd row down there where Ahsoka is. That's all the kind of key Mandalorian ones. One
of these days I'll get to that. I haven't had batteries in any of these things or anything. Fusion reactors and anything.
Yeah, the fusions are addictive. I'm just going to fly through some of these chats before you wrap it up there. So, unpopular opinion, I'm not a fan of module cases. Much prefer the detail. Look, you're preaching to the choir here. You know what I mean? So, and again, that's another thing. I can't rule out in the future the possibility of details, because I'm just a realist. The possibility of module cases.
Well, there's no more details, so.
Yeah, it's just like, or I've seen it. Did anyone actually see that video that Jeddah put up with he got 4 of the new detail replacement, and I only saw I saw an image of it, and my God, it hit all the Iron Man. It looked slick.
Yeah, it did.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, it looked.
It looks so small though, and I don't know, a little. It doesn't feel as open.
It's not. They are smaller.
Yeah.
But I think he did a review, and he said you won't have the same amount of space, but if you just have one, I think it actually looks a little better with the black frames on it. I haven't watched the video, but I saw
easier to hide the wires and stuff too. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, nice. Just gonna fly through some of these. So, Brandon Salad, sorry, on the space issue, that's a very relevant point. I can't rule out the future module cases, but I know if I did that, I'd miss the one per shelf kind of museum kind of look, and I know that there's pros and cons to both of them. So X-Men Supreme. The good news is there's no wrong way to collect. Yeah, absolutely, unless you're collecting people, that's illegal. Thank you, sound advice. He's not wrong. Thanks, Dave. So the Empire Strikes.
He knows from experience, apparently.
Oh right, you're gonna get him in trouble. Hit the like button according to Chuli. Sounds like a direct order. X-Men Supreme Moon Knight was so much fun.
It was fun. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, there was. You know what? I liked the first few episodes, but then I think the last one I was like,
it didn't stick the landing, but it was enjoyable enough.
Curse. No.
Yep. Basically.
I do think though there's a lot of Disney Plus shows that I didn't particularly like, but they have released some, announced some amazing pieces from Reva.
Yeah, except for the best
Amazing
fig
looking.
show that was out on Disney Plus, Andor, which they've got nothing for.
Strange, yeah. But like the She-Hulk looks amazing. Reva looks amazing. Sabine, Hera, it's just some quality stuff. So Daredevil, ketchup, mustard, She-Hulk equals relish. That's quite funny.
Okay.
All right, so I'm just kind of wrapping this up here, folks. So yeah, look, Jetta made those cases look good. They are tiny, but he did. His production is very good. He's a good poser and lighting and all that kind of stuff. So, folks, obviously, Trevor, Phil, thank you very much for joining us again for another episode of the Hope Show. Hope to see you next week.
Thanks for having me.
Available. Anytime. Thanks for sharing the photos as well. And yeah, so anything you want to plug there before we wrap it up?
Again, probably not for this crowd, but Legion's Lounge tonight at 9 p.m. on my channel. You can go back and watch the Patience show on from Friday, or the 1/6 pack, because that is 1/6 related. And yeah, that's about it.
Excellent stuff. Thanks for joining, Trevor. And Phil?
Posted a couple of photographs yesterday, today on my Instagram. Probably.
Is that the 85?
That was it, yeah. The 85.
That was nice. I saw that earlier on.
Appreciate it.
Was
cheers.
nice.
Thank you.
That was very good. There's a clean version you have, yeah?
It is, yeah. I wish I'd bought, in hindsight, bought the battle version, but it's fine.
No, the
Still looks good. Still looks good.
Clean look very good. The way you shot it as well. So
I've got to get fusion reactors in it.
They are addictive. That and the CCFLs, and you start looking into hiding the wires and all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Nice. Like when it works out, you might spend a long time, but that's
I love the Mando shot too from the other day. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
appreciate it from coming from somebody like Trevor. That's
100%.
Thanks very much.
You've seen your work.
You're welcome.
If you haven't followed these two gentlemen on Instagram, please do check them out and follow them and sub to Sir. You don't have a YouTube channel at the moment, Phil, but you're in the process of joining the first. So you got your hands full, like, you know. So.
One thing at a time.
Yeah. I'm just Keith. I know that Keith will appreciate that.
Keith is a nightmare.
Yeah, he's a nightmare. Yeah, absolutely, he's a Sith.
That was good.
Right, folks. Thank you very much. Whether you're watching live or you're watching on the replay, again, like, you know, I started this channel maybe 18 months ago, and I didn't think we'd get to the stage where we're at now, so I do appreciate that. So anyone who's ever taken the time to watch any videos, like any videos, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member, ask me on their YouTube channel to their live stream or vice versa, engage in a chat, all that stuff, massively appreciated. And so onwards and upwards, and hopefully see you next Monday. See you, folks.